Hello and welcome back to OLT.
Our license to travel.
We are Chris and Shelly, and we are bringing you our top 10 things every RV owner should have.
An educational video?
Oh yes it is. I wish someone had done this for us when we were just starting out.
Okay, here's what this is about. It seems like every few days or so we are getting an I've just bought my first RV and would like to ask, what do I really need to get out on the road?
And if you've watched any of our first videos, you know that we were the rankest of all newbies.
We knew nothing.
Yes, we were. Our experts at knowing nothing.
Odd, our lack of knowledge does make us an expert. And now we have RV'd over 50,000 miles around the USA. So we have a pretty good idea of what you'll need if you're just starting out RVing.
So if you're new, you've been searching the internet and YouTube looking for what you'll need to go on your first trip. We're here to make it easy, so let's do this.
The top 10 things you'll need to know as an RV newbie. Number 1.
Numero uno.
All you need is a rig, some fuel, and be ready to have some fun.
True dat.
At the end of the day, we're going to talk about 9 other things that you'll need and to know. But you can definitely get completely overwhelmed with everything you need to buy and need to do before you start RVing.
It can be like it's just too much. I'm just gonna call it all off.
Yeah, but don't do that. We used to be aircraft owners, and our flying friends used to say this: all you need are the plane, the keys, fuel, and a flight plan. And when we'd fly out for that $100 hamburger, we would stress about if we'd remembered to do everything before leaving. But it really comes down to the aircraft, the keys, and the flight plan. Still, you want to be prepared, so we've got some other ideas for you. So let's look at number 2, tools. What should you bring? Probably the most essential tool is this.
Chris's divining rod. Yeah, if you bring it close to your tires, it'll show you which one is going to blow. Any one of them at any time.
Yeah, this will handle 4 different common sizes of lug nuts and will give you the leverage you need to break them loose and then allow you to easily spin them off. And nope, they don't come with the RV.
And this is called a 4-way.
Thanks for saying what it is. The other thing is a wrench for every bolt and nut on your RV.
These things are kind of big. I could use them to work out.
You need them to tighten things like your spring bolts and shackle bolts and nuts.
You know, the things that hold your curved springs on the axles, you know, behind the tires.
Yeah, behind the tires. Look for bolts and nuts that you may need to tighten all around your RV.
So, know your nuts.
Another thing is an infrared thermometer. It's a great tool so you can quickly get the temps of your tires, brake drums, and bearings whenever you pull over. This is a definite necessity, and you should step up your game to a TPMS. We use the TST. With it, you can get PSI and temp of all 12 tires on our rig. 2 spares, 1 on the truck and 1 on the RV at all times. Just a note, be sure to check all your pressures cold before the start of any trip.
We'll super geek out on this in a completely different video. Chris is the gadget man.
Leveling blocks. These things are great. They just snap together.
Adult Legos.
Yeah, they are. And they're perfect for putting under the tongue jack of a travel trailer. And to give a solid purchase for stabilizers and leveling the rig, if you need to put some on the low side of the RV tires or for the RV's jacks.
And the other tool we have is a collapsible wagon. You know, the kind that you can get at Costco. They're made out of fabric, so they're kind of like a red wagon that's made out of fabric and has big tires on it. Everybody needs one of these because there are so many times that you have to bring things back and forth, like trash, laundry, pets, and for some of you, the kids.
And another tool is the screwdriver and a special drill bit, and it's called a Robertson's bit or tip.
Robertson is square.
Yep, it's the square, and a lot of RVs use that particular type of screw.
Yeah, our RVs, all of them, is that we didn't own one for a while.
They're very popular in Canada. Anyways, this has come in pretty handy.
We're going to talk about tires right now. Tires, tires, tires. Way important. But the first thing you can do is check the date on your tires. Tell them what that means.
It means if you're buying a brand new RV, it does not necessarily mean that your tires are new. It's not a bad idea to check the date code on your prospective RV tires prior to signing on the dotted line. The other thing you can do is to check the load capacity of said tires, and the reason we know so much about this is because we've had 5 blowouts. I mean literally blowouts.
Remember, we're professional newbies.
Yeah, professional newbies.
Professional newbies?
The reason we had our first blowout is because we didn't have the proper tires on the rig. It came from the factory or maybe the dealer that way. The ply was too low and the speed rating wasn't high enough. And most folks say if they are China bombs, that's made in China, they should be changed out every 3 years or so. Note, manufacturers like Grand Design are now increasing the wheel size from 16-inch rims to 17.5 so that U.S. manufactured tires can be used, which pretty much has eliminated that problem.
Tires. This has already been a subject of its own video. We'll link it up here. Okay guys, number 4, how to avoid mistakes and accidents.
Wow, this can be its own video.
Yeah, it really is, but here are a few simple tips to break it down so you can have the best time possible and not hit too many bumps on your way.
The first one is go slow. Like they used to say on our team, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. You could also say it like this: you know where to go and you've got all day to get there. Mistakes are made and accidents happen when you're feeling rushed.
And that can happen when you're feeling brand new at something. So maybe you're feeling rushed because folks are lining up behind you at the dump station and you think you need to speed it up. Like when we've told our kids when they were learning to drive.
Fire in the hole!
Don't let someone else intimidate you into going too fast or pulling into traffic too soon and getting in a wreck. Just take your time and do it right.
It can happen if checkout is at 11 a.m. and you know that an RVer is waiting for your site. So you're picking up the speed more than normal. Just remember that you're not really in a hurry. If you think you're in a hurry, you're probably actually going to be going slower because of perceived pressure you've put on yourself.
Hurrying makes you anxious and may cost you money, so slow down. This is all about fun, and you've got all day to get there. Create a system for yourselves. We've got our own roles, and we double and triple check each other.
Until we don't, like driving off with our awning out.
Okay, well that was when we first got the new rig, and we both missed it. We never once looked up, and a nice lady in an Airstream ran us down shouting at us till we stopped and rectified the situation. Running around in a hurry, looking down, never once looking up at our awning. That's a perceived hurry.
Perfect example of how hurrying can make bad things happen.
Hurrying can make you hyper and usually ends up costing you money. So you can slow down. Remember, this is all about fun, and you have all day to get there. Run interference for each other. For some reason, setting up and tearing down seems to attract people, even though you've already been there for 2 weeks, which can interrupt our system and which may cause you to forget something. If he is setting up or tearing down, I'll intercept people who mean well but have bad timing, so he can get the work done. It's part of our system.
You've got a great point. Have a system for everything. When you dump, set up, tear down, anything, do it the same way every time. That's why we use a list. Our iPhones, it's called iList, to be sure that we don't forget something. Simple things like putting your tools back in their place every time so you don't have to hunt for anything. Now, number 5 is communications.
Finding ways you can communicate together, because you may not be doing this alone. You might be doing it with a significant other, a family member, or friends, like backing into a spot. This is a prime example where couples tend to get into arguments. Communication is key. We always say back end of RV to driver's side or back end of RV to passenger side. Getting set up in your site. Don't blame each other, just talk and help each other out.
So this is supposed to be exciting and fun, but when there's a hiccup, it's real easy to snap at those you love. Not the way to start your trip. Make it fun, not frustrating. Help each other and make it memorable. Talk about possible situations ahead of time so you each have a good idea of how to handle it. You make your plan before you arrive or are ready to leave. Get on the same page. Who's gonna do what?
And Grizz always stays in his throne in the truck while we're setting up. And when it's hot outside, the AC is on full blast. And when it's cold outside, the heater is going full blast. He is always foremost in our minds. We communicate visually or verbally through our phones or radios. Not always going to work, but at least we have our system.
Talk about possibilities in advance and don't play the blame game. You're a team. Support each other. Things go wrong. Don't talk about it then. Take a moment or 3 and find ways to prevent the same thing in the future.
Number 6. Know your measurements. Okay, tell them what that means.
It means know how tall your RV is. We put the measurements on the dash of our F450 in imperial and metric. Metric if you're thinking about traveling to Canada. That includes height, width, length, and weight for both the tow vehicle and the RV. Also, on a tandem axle RV, know the distance between the 2 tires. We know some RVers whose centering pin on the springs had broken, causing the distance to shift and the trailer to dog track. That can really be bad on your tires.
Number 7, boondocking.
If you're new to this whole idea, you're going to find yourself able to go to some interesting camping spots.
Like Walmart. Yeah, kicking cans past the RV, kids racing in the parking lot, loud music late into the night. Walmart. Just avoid it.
Cabela's, Bass Pro, which happen to have dump stations.
Yeah, they do.
Harvest Host, Boondockers Welcome, and mostly out west, the amazing BLM sites and National Forest.
It is an amazing way to mind the gap, so to say, between destinations in your travels at little to no cost.
Yeah, our first experience at Walmart was not pleasant, but we've stayed at places like Death Valley, Bridger Teton National Forest, Quartzsite, Harvest Host, wineries, orchards, etc., and it is amazing. So as far as boondocking goes, our number 8 is know your tanks. This you can practice when you're at a park with full hookups, so you have a backup just in case, and still be able to test out just how long and what to do with your resources. This brings up gray water management. Done right, it can be quite the deal. Shelley has a great little idea. She's got a small bucket that fits in the sink so we can wash our hands, do dishes, and things that would just accumulate sink water so it doesn't add to the gray tanks. And because it's just from water we use for washing hands, etc., we can discard it easily outside in a bush or a tree. But don't do this with your black water. So, the tank level indicator? Nope, it doesn't work. After a while, you'll just get to know how full things are.
Yeah, I can go so many days on this tank if we manage it like this or that.
Don't forget to sanitize your freshwater system and tanks regularly. We've done a couple of videos on this as well. We'll add a link up here.
Yeah, don't let it get nasty.
One of the big questions we get is number 9. How do we plan our routes?
For us, we make our big destinations first, then go back and fill in the rest. This way, if you need to, you can get reservations for that big one or busier areas. So leave a little wiggle room for flexibility to see some great things along the way that you might have otherwise missed. Some of the biggest helps in planning are RV Trip Wizard, which is my favorite, All Stays, Campendium, The Dirt, all of which are apps to make your planning easier.
Number 10. We're on number 10?
Yeah, we're getting close. So, number 10, document. These are going to be the memories of a lifetime, so document in whatever way you'd like. Camera, video.
Vlog, YouTube, whatever works for you.
Whatever you'd like to do. But be sure to include your faux pas, the things that go wrong, because as we know, those are the memorable stories. Make it so we can all laugh together. Yeah, stuff happens, and like we said, that's half the fun.
There's another thing about documenting that's important. When the trip is done, document the things you liked and didn't like, so when you may plan another trip to that area, you can see just where you'd like to go that you didn't the first time, or eliminate the things that were a total bust.
This can really make the travels so much better.
Well, these have been some of the top 10 things that you need to know as a first-time or RV newbie. And if you'd like more ideas on other things RV, we've got a stack of videos on our tips and tricks to RV, including maintenance, repairs, and everyday items, along with some killer meals.
No matter what, stay confident and get out there. Don't wait till the time is right or you'll never do it. Get out there now and learn while you do. You'll enjoy it so much more. RVers are some of the nicest people.
Thanks for coming along on our journey. Hope we see you next week. Until then, please travel safe.
To be